Hi, I'm Linda Deir. Welcome to Reflections on Guided. Guided is my true life story of how I mastered living in two worlds at the same time. This resulted in higher learning, influenced by my spirit guides and angels that provided powerful ways to solve life's problems while discovering who I was. Chapter 3. Everyone here lets me down. One of the first things I remember my spirit guide angels telling me came from this prophecy. The promise that life will get better for you as you get older. Then came the warning, if you can make it through childhood. I received this prophecy years before starting school, and just like the merry-go-round dream, it was something I could not stop or change. As they continued to repeat this prophecy to me, word for word throughout my childhood, I was aware that no one in this world took me seriously. Unfortunately, this made me a perfect target for my mom. I was 3 years old and could not stop wetting the bed. My mom used that to blame me for ruining her life. So she implemented the daily backyard glider punishment, where I was forced to stay all day without food, water, or bathroom privileges, exposed to the full intensity of the sun. After weeks of crying and panicking, my glider prison became a peaceful place. Instead of this being punishment, like my mother intended, I mentally escaped this world. In doing that, I was connected, enabling me to detect the subtle messages coming through from my guides. This brought me even closer to my protectors, who were now my only lifeline in this world. After the glider ordeal, I went into the backyard and played in the sandbox every day to get away from my mother. The time I spent in the sandbox became my self-help therapy refuge, which allowed me to secretly explore everything my guides were showing me. This is where I openly communicated with them. I was living in two worlds without anyone noticing. While my secret world was uplifting, a place where I was always learning amazing new things. In this world, I was constantly critiquing what to say and strategic about how I acted. I had become acutely aware and equally covert, even before starting school. I had to accept the consequences of this greater awareness that made being here in this world harder than it was for anyone else. It was cut and dried for them. However, in my case, because of this higher way of learning, I saw everything for what it was, the truth. Strangely enough, when compared to the reality everyone else was living, mine was bizarre. Like the merry-go-round dream showed me from the beginning of my life, what I would experience many times would be the exact opposite of others. Two things were absolutely clear. I couldn't tell anyone what I knew and how I knew it. I also knew I couldn't run away from any of this. There was nowhere to go, but I always imagined getting out. In this awareness, I realized that the family I was born into was temporary and not my real family at all. My real family were the ones who loved me unconditionally and always helped me figure things out. My spirit guides and angels. I was living a secret life that my guides played a dominant role in. They guided me through life's highs and lows. On one hand, this was an advantage because it allowed me, through a lucid awareness, to access those beyond this world who provided me with the higher interdimensional way of learning and thinking things through. On the other hand, in this world, it was getting harder to dodge my mother's assaults. It was wearing me down. Reflections on Guided is an addendum to my best-selling autobiography, Guided, winner of the 2017 Body, Mind, Spirit International Book Award. These reflections are answers to many questions received from the thousands of fans of my story. As I reflected back on what I wrote, even I was astounded by the revelations I experienced reliving my life again.